Black kings, I pray you love your black queens. Black kings, I said I pray you love your black queens. I pray you love them as much as you love the next blonde and brunette, Latino, Asian and whoever is left. I pray your preferences are only due to taste rather than hate, and your disregard for the sweetest juices because you don't have the sweetest tooth. But don't you dare put these black queens down when you were raised up by one. These queens mirror your mothers, aunties, grandmas, sisters, cousins and nieces, so how is it all of a sudden your love ceases for a black girl? When they need more compassion and love than ever, because the world portrays every other type of woman as above and better, and you add fuel to the fire with your ignorant satire. Mocking their skin tone, casting more shade in them and putting them in a darker place. Ironic, the pot calling the kettle black when the pot should have the kettle's back. You make them feel like shit so they find comfort in bleaching, and rather than shedding light and love, you'd rather beg for a lighty's love. You mock their hair, giving them mixed signals in the process. You say no to their natural hair, but yes to weave them, call them fake because it deceives from their true selves. But ideally, they'd like to not have their natural hair out, but they're still scarred from the first time a black boy laughed at them because they could barely get their hair in a bun, but believe me, they could have hair in abundance, as long as they were given enough confidence and used the right substance. I'm not implying that self-hate and wearing weave work in tandem. I'm simply speaking up for those whose confidence have been hurt by mandem. You tell these black queens that they have too much attitude, that they're too mouthy and ratchet, when most of the time they're just being strong and outspoken, and you're just a little boy with masculinity issues that can't happen. Failing to realize they're a victim of the same demonization you face when you're seen as black and aggressive, and you add to this oppressive stereotype. And if they don't have the biggest of bums, doesn't make them less worthy of your attention, because if Common Chloe or Simple Sally even had just a little bat, you'd fall at their feet with grace. You want the so-called black features, but just not the black face. But you can't have your red velvet cake and eat it too if you've deserted your own tiramisu. There's nothing wrong with having the best of both worlds, but there's a problem when you don't see equal value in both girls. My black kings, just remember that black don't crack. Just think how long Nia's been fine for and how juicy the berry still is for Hallie. You can't say the same is guaranteed for your Common Chloe or Simple Sally. In some cases, she's less fascinated by you, but more fascinated with these black myths. So understand she's not into black guys, she's just into black. I'll leave that for you. My black kings, don't turn these black queens against you. They'll always have your back. Just understand that there's not a thing that they lack, because the grass isn't greener on the other side, because they're all on a level playing field. So I hope my prayer yields your love for your black queens as much as you love the next blonde and brunette, Latino, Asian, and whoever is left. I pray your preferences are only due to taste rather than hate, and your disregard for the sweetest juices because you don't have the sweetest tooth. I pray you love your black queens. I pray you love your black queens. I pray you love your